This handbag brand took over Instagram without a single logo. Here's how. No celebrity partnerships, no glorious campaigns, no attention-grabbing monogram prints, simply sculptural silhouettes, gentle curves, and a subtle elegance that begs the question, where's that bag from? Please do like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Now, coming back to our topic, POLÈNE Paris. Whether you realize it or not, you have witnessed it. And today, we're going into great detail about how this understated luxury brand has quietly upended the handbag market from Paris to Seoul. You've probably seen one of these incredibly stylish logo-free bags in your feed if you're even remotely interested in fashion. They don't make as much noise as Louis Vuitton, and they don't have the same heritage as Hermes. However, they feel fresh somehow, polished, costly, and the finest of all, you don't have to pay rent for them. This is the tale of Polene's transformation from a family dream to one of the most talked about handbag brands on the internet. The beginning of Polene's story takes place at a family dinner table rather than in a fashion house. Three siblings, Matthew, Antoine, and Elsa Mate, founded it. The trio, who had business backgrounds and a keen sense of design, aimed to produce something that was both distinctively French and innovative. A brand that combined a softer, sculpture-like form of elegance with the architectural precision of Parisian fashion. Mate siblings are grandchildren of Léon Legalis, the founder of St. James brand, adding depth to their fashion heritage. They envisioned bags that relied more on form than trends or logos, drawing inspiration from the curves of nature, art, and architecture. The journey started in 2014. Before establishing Polene, the Mate siblings went to Ubrique in Spain, which is famous for its leather product manufacturing. Luxurious activities unfold quietly in Ubrique. The handcrafted leather production at the Spanish mountain town serves luxury brands across the world. Polene found its master key to success through talented craftsmen who brought their brand vision to life. The approach gave assurance of premium products, ethical working standards, and affordable prices by direct contact with original suppliers. The brand established its signature model by giving luxury bags by direct customer delivery. In 2016, 2 years later, Polene made its official debut. There was not a single billboard or magazine spread, just a gorgeous product line, a gorgeous website, and an entirely new viewpoint. Each purse was named after a number rather than a muse or a particular moment. Numero 1, numero 7, numero 10. It was meticulous, sophisticated, and nearly arithmetic, and it was successful. The bags spoke for themselves. People started learning about Polene. Instagram users, editors, and fashion influencers started tagging Polene in their photos. There were no collaborations or sponsored advertisements, just a surge of natural curiosity and passion for art. Without being noisy, Polene suddenly appeared everywhere. The year 2021 marked with the debut of Polene's very first physical store in Paris, which established its future growth path towards New York, Tokyo, and Seoul. The store opened at the heart of Rue de Richelieu, which had cobblestone streets combined with artistic elements and modern classical cultural vibes. The store was a physical manifestation of the brand's foundational principles. Besides geography, the brand's French heritage was another essential element in their decision to begin operations in Paris. Polene adopted Paris for its first move because it's famous for its unique fashion past and prestigious craftsmanship. Polene expanded its international physical retail operations by opening its second store in Soho in 2022, New York City, after achieving online growth for 6 years. It's more than just a store though, it's an experience. The store's soft lighting, curved architectural shapes, neutral color schemes, and cozy intimate ambiance all mirrored the aesthetic principles of handbags. There is only exquisite craftsmanship in a tidy area, without overpowering logos or marketing displays. People formed a line. Consumers who made purchases through online channels finally had the opportunity to touch and see Polene's handbags in person. It was a statement rather than merely a store opening. At the end of 2022, Polene reported a revenue of approximately 61 million euros at the end of the year. The New York location's success paved the way for international growth. Polene established a boutique in Tokyo, Japan in 2023. Tokyo was a logical choice. Throughout history, Japanese customers have purchased items that display premium materials and refined workmanship and basic design elements. Polene integrated perfectly with the existing cultural structure. The Tokyo boutique maintained the same compact and purposely selected design layout as the New York location. The brand presented an innovative luxury concept which appealed to Japanese fashion enthusiasts through its quiet and deliberate methods, and the word got out quickly. just like in New York. In 2023, Polene managed to make a revenue of 137 million euros. In 2024, Polene proceeded to expand into Seoul, South Korea, another significant fashion hub. Korea is renowned for quickly influencing fashion and beauty trends around the world. It was not only wise, but also essential to open a boutique in Seoul. The Seoul location offered the same cozy, understated style for which Polene is renowned. However, the audience was even more socially active, fashion savvy, and hyper-connected this time. Another wave of natural online hype was generated when the K-pop stylists and influencers started incorporating Polene bags into their regular outfits. Polene was no longer solely a French brand. It was turning into a universal cultural icon. The fashion industry was rocked in 2024 when L. Catterton, a private equity firm supported by none other than LVMH, acquired a minority stake in Polene. This was no ordinary investment. L. Catterton is well known for supporting industry titans like Birkenstock, Sephora, and Ganni. Their endorsement made it clear to the industry that Polene was more than just a fad. It was a fresh influence on high-end fashion. However, Polene maintained its independence in spite of support of one of the most influential forces in luxury. No over-branding, no shift to mass manufacturing, simply keeping the customer experience, design, and craft front and center. Polene changed the rules of contemporary luxury, not just introducing a new line of handbags. Polene took a different approach from the conventional luxury giants, which depended on legacy, physical presence, and an air of exclusivity protected by price tags and inaccessibility. And that's precisely why they prospered. The direct-to-consumer, or DTC strategy, is the cornerstone of Polene's business strategy. Polene completely cut out the middleman, in contrast to heritage brands that frequently go through several tiers, distributors and department stores and retail partners. They manufacture their bags in Ubrique, Spain, and sell them straight to consumers via their website or their well-chosen flagship locations. This enables them to keep control over the four pillars of fashion, quality, design, pricing, and storytelling, all of which are frequently comprised on conventional luxury channels. Additionally, Polene genuinely upended the status quo on social media. Polene let their products speak for itself on Instagram, while luxury brands were still learning how to communicate with younger audiences in an authentic way. They didn't sponsor shoddy photo shoots or bombard influencers with sponsored ads. Rather, they established a naturally occurring, meticulously curated online presence. With its natural hues, Parisian settings, subtle lighting, and the right amount of mystery, their Instagram feed has a feel of a design magazine. Additionally, they promoted natural user content by reposting actual customer images of themselves carrying their bags in typical situations, such as strolling down cobblestone streets, enjoying espresso at a corner cafe, or wearing simple attire to work. Customers felt more like insiders than outsiders, snooping around in a world of luxury thanks to this strategy's community-driven aesthetic. The design concept of Polene is surprisingly straightforward, but that's precisely the point. Polene made the decision to be restrained in a world full of logos, decorations, and seasonal chaos, and they became known for their restraint. Each bag is carefully crafted, drawing inspiration from architecture and nature rather than fashion trends, focusing on curves and folds. The folds serve a practical purpose in addition to being aesthetically pleasing. The way Polene makes their bags has a certain mathematical elegance that seems more like product design than fashion. However, Polene's choice to completely forego branding is what really made it stand out. No fancy names, no big monograms, only flawless leather, superb craftsmanship, and for the keen eye, a tiny embossed Polene. Because of this, influencers and stylists were smitten with their bags. Why? Because a Polene bag doesn't take over an outfit, it enhances it. Naturally, fashion influencers began to gravitate towards Polene, particularly those who curate minimalist or clean girl aesthetics. The bags started to appear frequently in curated aesthetic reels, outfit of the day post, and flat lays. Additionally, the bags feel more artistic and unique in each setting because they don't overtly display their brand identity. The numero un mini, or numero 9, gained popularity on Instagram because it matched well with everything, not because Polene bought shoutouts. The bags were incredibly versatile thanks to their neutral hues like sand, camel, olive, and taupe. They were visually appealing from all sides thanks to their soft yet structured silhouettes. And let's face it, a handbag that stands up by itself, like a small sculpture, has a strangely satisfying quality. Fashion is undergoing a significant change, and understanding the psychology of quiet luxury is essential to comprehending Polene's explosive rise. Millennials and Gen Z, who currently make up the majority of fashion customers, are running away from from overt displays of wealth. Flashy designer flexing, huge status symbols, and head-to-toe logos are becoming less popular. Instead of these, there is a rising desire for value-driven shopping, craftsmanship, and subtle elegance. If you know, you know is the main fashion statement of quiet luxury. It conveys self-assurance and judgment. You don't have to flaunt your position. Instead, you do so quietly through tasteful design and moral decisions. This explains why Polene appeals to younger customers so strongly. It prioritizes design over brand. Customers are paying for quality, functionality, folds, and curves rather than a name. It reflects conscious consumerism. By avoiding the exploited practices associated with fast fashion, Polene's production in Spain supports traditional artisans. Brands that practice ethical labor are particularly valued by Gen Z. It is priced for buyers with aspirations. Polene sells bags under $600, in contrast to legacy luxury bags that cost thousands. Although it's still a luxury, young professionals who desire classic quality can afford it. It fits well with minimalist lifestyle and capsule wardrobes. Buy less, buy better is the trend that Gen Z and millennials are following. A Polene bag is made to last, both in terms of appearance and durability. Polene frequently appears alongside terms like quiet luxury, European girl style, and old money aesthetic on social media sites like TikTok and Pinterest. Younger consumers are proficient in these visual languages, and Polene is a perfect fit for the tone. For Polene to be successful, hype was not necessary. All they required was a vision and the guts to pursue it without compromise. What started out as a design-loving startup run by siblings has developed into one of the most subtly potent brands in contemporary fashion. Despite the absence of logos, gimmicks, and shouting, Polene has succeeded in making a global statement. Once again, please do remember to like and subscribe, and leave a comment below if you like this analysis on how a contemporary brand can stealthily take over the world. Have you ever seen a Polene bag in the wild? Or do you have one already? Be sure to let us know.